Who wants to meet?
Hey, Brian. We haven't started yet. We have only 4 committee members and none of them are the chair or vice chair. So I think one of the committee members that's here should nominate somebody to run the meeting, to start the meeting.
So are you asking
Well,
me
let's
to?
read this, are we gonna have elections? Because if we do, then I could open the meeting.
Okay, why don't you? open?
Okay, I could open the meeting and then we can go through the roll call pledge and then get elections, and then you'll have a chair.
Okay.
Okay, as county clerk, I hereby call this May 10th meeting of the Land, Water and Forest Committee to order at 8:34 a.m. We'll start with roll call. Brian Bissonette,
Here,
Ed Peters.
Here.
Kay Wilson. Here. Jason Weaver. No, Jason. Kevin Shepard. Here. We have a quorum. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If somebody else.
We have opening for a chair since we have lost Jesse Betcher. So I will, I forgot. This meeting has been noticed to the public and news media as required by section 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes. Now we'll open the floor for nominations for the position of chair. If necessary, once a chair is elected, she will conduct the next election for the vice chair. A person receiving majority of members' votes entitled to a seat shall be declared elected. This vote shall take place by silent ballot. If no majority is reached, balloting shall continue, including all nominees until a majority is reached. At this time, I will open the floor for nominations for the position of chair. Do I have any nominations?
I'll nominate Ed Peters.
A nomination by Kay Wilson. We nominate Ed Peters for the position of chair. Do we have any further nominations for the position of chair?
nominee Brian Bissonette.
Nomination by Ed Peters for Brian Bissonette. Any further nominations for the position of chair? Last call for nominations for the position of chair.
Can I withdraw my, I appreciate that, Ed, but I really don't have time. I'd like to withdraw if possible.
Decline, yep.
You can decline, yes. Okay, so I take that as a decline from Brian. So we have nomination for Ed Peters as chair, and since we have one candidate, we could call for a unanimous vote for Ed to be considered chair of the committee. Shall we have a vote? This does not, if it's one vote, we do not have to do it by silent ballot, so we can do a voice vote. All in favor for Ed Peters as chair of the committee, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nay votes? Unanimous. Welcome, Ed. Yes. Do you want to run the election for vice chair?
Sure.
Okay, excellent. Congratulations.
Who was the vice chair instead?
Well, it was Mark, so we guess we don't have to, because that was only if Mark was moved to chair, so we don't have to have a second nomination. Good call.
Okay, this might be a little bit rocky this morning, but we'll see. Thank you very much. So Mark will continue as vice chair.
Yep. There's
Good.
no reason to change there.
Moving on to, let's see. Do we have any public comments? Let's back up on the
Yeah.
agenda.
I don't see any public comments and nothing online.
Okay. Moving on to approval of minutes from the previous meeting, the April 2023 minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay. Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from April 12th, 2023. All in favor, say aye.
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 Minutes are passed. Moving on to item number 8, interim appointment of, for discussion and possible action. County surveyor. Great.
I'll take the.
Okay,
So yeah, I don't need that. You can have discussion. There's really no action needed. But as everybody's probably aware that Dan Ploger retired last month. He was our county surveyor and also designated as the land information officer, head of our land records office. What I brought back to address his retirement is what we want to do, or what we're doing is essentially dividing up the responsibilities with the staff that we have. Essentially doing the work that they were primarily doing already. So Chris Gregory, who is the deputy county surveyor, will now be designated as the county surveyor. Brian DeVries, who was our GIS specialist, will take the land information officer title or designation. Both the county surveyor and the land information officer are statutory designations in the state statutes. And then Kimberly Went will continue on as our GIS tech and head up our real property listing. So we're not looking to hire anybody necessarily to replace Dan. We have talked about some of the surveying, maybe doing some additional contracting, but we're going to proceed this way with dividing up the duties that Dan was doing and attaching them to the people that we have in the office already. The county surveyor and LI land information officer titles will be going to the appointments will be going to the county board for approval.
okay. So do we need a motion on that? Or just,
No, unless there's any questions or discussion.
item number 9, events.
None for this month.
Okay. And item 10, land records, county surveyor report for May of 2023.
Did Kimberly submit a report?
No,
No? Oh, okay. All right. So I didn't really get a report together this month. Things are ramping up in the land records office as they do in the spring. Surveys and addresses and property questions kind of, pick up with in the spring building season. Similar to zonings, traffic. We've been taking customers and taking care of business. And so that is my report. So we do
What do we do there?
I can fill us in on the survey again.
Yep.
We sent our annual letters out to the townships asking that they let us know before they tear up the roads, and we've been getting some responses back and going to check on those corners before they get lost. And we've been putting up the backlog of address signs we've had sitting there all winter. We've been putting those in as we go around the county too. And the DOT has asked that we collect a few GPS observations on some of the monuments around the county, and we've been catching those as we go around too. So we've kind of just been hopping all over the county the last couple of weeks. Just trying to stay ahead of the construction and before the traffic gets heavy, so.
Okay, any questions for the? Moving on to the Sawyer County Forestry Department. Item A, recreational trails report. Anything on that?
I'll just give you a short report.
all the trails and routes within Sawyer County are due to be open this coming Saturday, the 13th, other than the trails within the Schwamigan Forest and also down in the state Flambeau Forest, those open on the 15th, to my knowledge, as of today. We have residual storm damage to continue to work on. It's just going to take us a while, so we're expecting a lot of heavy ATV traffic. They're just going to have to deal with down branches and things that are still on the trail at this point, and it's a work in progress. That's,
Well, this morning as I drove over the Scobia Trail had some very, very nice puddles on them, so
oh, yeah.
that'll
Yeah,
make it
there's
interesting.
plenty of washouts and a lot of things like that to take care of.
Welcome, Mark.
Morning. Yes, good luck.
Let's see, item B, county forestry report,
Okay,
quite a bit of stuff there.
now for April, we had no active sales going on, which is normal for our spring breakup. Right now, sale value sold and uncut on file is a little over 3.6 million. With the approval of the spring timber sale bid, there'll be an additional 1.6 million there, so just over 5.2 million should be on file right now. Sale revenue that we took in April was a little over 172,000. So our year to date for timber sale revenue is just over 1.2 million. So we did have a very good winter. Should be a smooth sailing going into our revenue budget for this year, barring any, dare I say, catastrophes or anything that we sometimes experience as far as weather and markets, things like that. So no sale inspections, obviously, tract establishment, everybody's been switching to field work as conditions have improved, so there's not much write-up going up in the office right now. Recon is on target. G&A on the federal forest, we did have some hours put in on our for year 24 contract. That is an ongoing contract that we will get the bulk of this done through spring and summer here. We are currently in the oak wilt restriction period until July 15th. So in our oak areas, there's no harvesting, brushing, or road building activities allowed until that July 15th date. We did have our grant applications due on April 15th. As listed, those were the grants that we applied for. We have our 3 normal maintenance grants for ATV, UTV, and snowmobile. We did apply for an additional 2.92 miles of new ATV trails. And then we have 4 rehabs that we applied for there. And as Kathy mentioned, we are targeting the 13th for the opening date on county forest ATV, UTV trails. You know, our set date is the 15th, but we felt with conditions, we could get everybody out there for the weekend. I know, users are anxious to go. But there are some things to clean up yet, but we should have a safe opening with the conditions of trails now. So. And that's about all I have for my report.
Okay, any questions for Greg? Thanks very much. Zoning? Item number 12.
We've
I'm
got
sorry.
timber sales, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Number
DNR
2.
forest report, I'm sorry.
Yes, number 2. Yeah, so we did have our spring timber sale bid on April 28th. We offered 22 tracts. We did sell 17 of the 22. The 5 no bids were some of the mixed hardwood old sales that with market conditions we've been having some struggles selling. But we did have a very good opening. Some of our major products, Aspen, we had just about a 46% increase in price on our Aspen pulp from last year. Given the conditions in the woods, we were kind of, had our hands tied with what the foresters could get established this winter. So we shifted to more of our aspen setup, which is a little less labor intensive and easier to access with difficult snow and down trees conditions. So we did end up selling a pretty good chunk of our allowable cut for aspen. We're just about between 600, 700 acres. So our allowable cuts are right around 900. So we leaned pretty heavy on our aspen for spring, and it paid off for us as the results show. So we did have a sold value of just over 1.6 million. So pretty successful opening. If we get in a year between 1.8 million and 2 million sold, that's kind of what our target is. So we're well on our way for our targets for the year. So as far as bids go, every high bid on our sales is a known contractor that we've worked with before. So there is no issues or concerns with the committee approving the high bids as presented.
So on that, we need a motion to approve those bids,
Yes.
accepting those bids.
Take a motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Okay. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the bids as listed, the high bids as listed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Sorry, DNR forest report.
So we don't have a formal report this month. We just wanted to take this time to introduce the new Sawyer County Forestry Liaison. Brody Fisher, you just tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
Hello, everyone. I am Brody Fisher. I was hired on as in this position a few weeks back now. I started my forestry career down in Rusk County for a year as a forester and spent a short time in Price County as well before getting hired on with the DNR in November of last year. I had lateraled into this position after Roy Zubrod had left, and I'm looking forward to spending some time here on the county forest. I just grew up south of Ojibwa, so I know the county fairly well, and looking forward to putting some county forest hours in with Greg and you guys here at Sawyer County. So thank you very much.
Welcome aboard. Okay, now moving on to the item number 12, zoning conservation department.
Yeah, we had our tree sale event. Was very successful year for the tree sales. Sold over 2,500 trees this year, and pickup was concluded last weekend. Our aquatic invasive species coordinator has held training already for our Clean Boats, Clean Waters initiative. Also is currently attending the AAS partnership meeting. The Lake Loretta and Upper Bruni Dam is finally done. Final completion occurred last week Friday for the reinstallation of the stop logs. The gates were in the week before that. As of yesterday, we were 4 inches short on water level for our minimum elevation. So we're letting a slow amount of water out to keep downstream still flowing and full of oxygen and water. And slowly bringing the lake level back up. With the rain that we had last night, this morning, we might be at minimum elevation. So we'll continue to monitor that and kind of shut down gates a little bit slower as we get up towards our normal pool of elevation on that lake. But all in all, it worked out well, and may have not gone with the exact time frames that we wanted, but it's done. And the only thing left to occur is a restocking effort this fall. We finally got the motor and the clutch mechanism replaced on the Price Dam, which is Lake Winter. This was a very specialized repair and had a very specialized price tag associated with it. I've been working with the county administrator as well as the finance director to allocate where we're going to put that specialized price tag, but ultimately the town of Winter is also, as per our working agreement, liable for 50% of the repairs for that dam. So we'll be sending an invoice out to the town as well. Zoning department in general remains very busy. Permit numbers are already ahead of where we were this time last year, as well as the year before that. And we look back at 2020 and how crazy the building boom has been in our area, and there is no slowdown. It is continuing, if not even exceeding my expectations. So very busy season again.
Any questions? I did take a look at the dam and it looks really nice and the water is coming up.
Yep.
It's almost. And with the rain that we had down there this morning, I think it might be filling up faster than expected.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we'll probably have to take a boat out there sometime next week. There's a couple logs that are kind of jammed up against the log or against the dam. Before, when there weren't the stop logs in, we could actually just kind of hook onto them and pull them downstream. Now that all the stop logs are in, they're kind of up against the gates and up against the logs. We'll probably have to take a boat out and pull them somewhere along shore. So
Okay.
that's part of the dam maintenance.
Yep. Well, and having the dry hydrant there too, that's a nice addition to that area. That would be good for the fire department and so forth. Yep. Thanks very much. USDA report.
Just a couple of dates here, May 19th here, application to do for a second round of equip in the RCPP funding for fiscal year 2023 here. May 26th is deadline to sign up for CRP program, which Sawyer County doesn't have anyone interested in for some reason. May 29th, the offices will be closed for Memorial Day, and then May 31st, non-insurance crop disaster program, NAPA, deadline for nursery crops sign up is. Everyone's well know that all the farmers are in the fields right now. A lot of them are being hauled, trying to get the field work done, and a lot of big equipment being down the road right now. So that's, and then the offices are sending out maps for crop reporting, which is due by July 15th here. That's all I have.
Thank you. LCO report, Brian.
Good morning. So this is really one of the busiest times of years for the LCO Conservation Department. We have 6 public camping sites out on the Chippewa Flows open to the public. So the staff has been working to get them. We're assisting all homeowners within the reservation boundaries of the numerous bear complaints. We're getting them every day. And we're starting our fish hatchery operations. So hopefully we're looking forward to another very successful year in our stocking program. That's about it.
Okay, any questions for Brian? Okay, thanks very much. Future agenda items. Any things coming up that we should be concerned with? Kate?
And the town of Round Lake has been awarded a DNR grant to repair the boat launch at the Tiger Cat Dam area. And one of the requirements of that grant is that we establish a handicap parking area, and the county owns the land at that area where the dam is, and then the town has the boat ramp. So I don't know what the process would be to get that handicap parking from.
The township, I think, would just submit a request to the county to develop a handicap parking on the county land.
And that would go to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll come to me and then it'll come to here.
Okay, thank you.
Would that be a next month request on the agenda or?
Apparently we can't send out any bids for.
I have sat in on a couple of different webinars. One just very recently on PFAS. And that may be something that would be coming up. These are those forever chemicals that are showing up in water supplies. I don't know which committee would be the appropriate committee to look at that, but apparently places like, well, Wausau, every one of their wells is above the limits for these chemicals. And they've had to install expensive treatment, but we don't know what's happening in domestic wells around our state yet. So it's just something that maybe we have to have on our radar to watch out for.
The
And-
town of Round Lake has their well testing program, and we'll be starting our second year. And that is one of the areas that we inquired for the University of Wisconsin Stevens Point about if we could test like the town hall, fire department area, and then the fire department, because of fire departments possibly producing that type of chemical. And they said that each test would run about $600 to test the well.
It's an expensive process, I know.
Right.
Yeah, the problem is that the one thing that came out originally was about the firefighting foam,
Right.
but there are so many other products that are used, including the jacket that I wore in with Gore-Tex on it.
Right.
That's a PFAS chemical. And don't sit too close to my jacket.
In
But,
the rain.
But it is an area of concern. So, but again, we don't know what the best procedure may be to follow as so far, but apparently, well, the DNR is working on that with EPA and so forth.
I just following that as well, and right, outside of domestic wells, most of the municipality water systems are, as they do their annual testing, they're starting to include the PFAS. So you'll see more if there are. You'll see more of this showing up as more of the municipal wells get tested and have. It starts to show up in there. There is one PFAS site in the county right now, but I believe it's connected to the city of Hayward.
Any other items for future agenda?
Excuse me, Andy, what did you mean there's a PFAS site in?
Or a detection.
Oh, there's already been one in the county?
Yeah, you can go, there's a PFAS, the DNR has a GIS database of all the PFAS testing. And so you can go in there and see the hit in Hayward.
Any other items? I'm not sure what my role in this chair is going to be going forward in terms of receiving those items, but if there are some things, please help me as I learn the ropes here. Thank you very much. Correspondence from meetings, conferences. Hearing none, we are adjourned for this morning. Thank you all.